I'm sure you have been following the news out of Key West. So basically, normally Key West is a very busy port for cruise ships. The cruise ships come through there, but it has been obviously a long time since those cruise ships have been there. And some people in Key West are saying, we kind of feel like our water quality has improved since those big ships aren't churning up things coming through. I can tell you're angry already, Stuart. But but I'm curious as to what, because they're basically saying we don't want cruise ships after seeing what it's like without cruise ships. Maybe we could have a life without cruise ships. And now there's sort of back and forth between their local government and state government who's saying, oh, no, you're going to have cruise ships. I'm curious as to what you think about this situation. Could it be a real complication for the cruise industry if local governments start saying, hey, you know what? We kind of like it better without these big ships coming in and out.
Well, there's obviously there's two sides. And there's some people that don't like them. There's some people that need and depend on them. There are two public piers in Key West. The one downtown is private, and there's obviously a myriad of issues. But when you're dealing with, why should call it a gated community be able to dictate what people living on neighboring islands do, where they may have shops and restaurants and art galleries in Key West, and they're dependent on tourism. How can they restrict them from being able to earn a living? There's a lot of people that have never been to Key West, would never drive down to Key West, went on a cruise, experienced it, and then went back for on their land vacation. It's a thorny issue that how a small community would be able to dictate what happens to other people living in the region. It's like you have passengers, let's say, coming out of on cruises, leaving out of New York and Baltimore, and they stop in Port Canaveral. I mean, imagine if Brevard County said, well, those ships that are coming here, those passengers are not going to be allowed to leave any, beyond Brevard County. So, that means that they won't be able to come to Orlando. There are ramifications, which is why I think the state, state legislators are intervening, because there are a lot of angry people that are very upset with the referendums that the Key West did, because it materially impacts them and their right to live as well and earn an income. And this gated community is attempting to prevent that.